a mature market, and yet you keep adding subscribers. How is that possible?
You know, this was actually the best quarter in our history when it comes to new postpaid overall billing account relationships. Amazing, 349,000 accounts and 1.3 million postpaid net adds on them. And, you know, look, I mean, our strategy here is to build the best 5G network and make that famous and have customers find their way to it. And we're years ahead of the other guys, and customers are noticing. There's also a transference with this vibrant economy from the prepaid sector, and you see lots of losses on prepaid from brands like TracFone and Boost, and those are contributing to the postpaid market. But for us, it's all about getting our value proposition in front of businesses and consumers and having them switch from the other guys to T-Mobile.
Now, you're going to be giving a keynote at CES. Congratulations. We'll be watching that. And I know T-Mobile has been touting for a long time now 5G as a differentiator. How big a role is 5G playing in customer choices for you?
Well, it's one of the reasons I wanted to go do that keynote. One of the big questions everybody asks is, okay, 5G's here, it's faster, but what am I going to really get for it? How's it going to change my life? And we want to stop and talk about that because there's so much incredible development happening across the ecosystem to take advantage of 5G networks. And, you know, I back up to 2010 when 4G first came out, and hardware and software innovators, the biggest companies in the world like Facebook, Google, Amazon, et cetera, pivoted their strategies around 4G. And then so did small companies and garages that became unicorns. That's happening again with 5G. And this is a network capability that's 8-10 times faster than 4G. Super high capacity. Things like our ability to get after home broadband and welcome millions of home broadband users without them having to deal with their cable companies. And that's an amazing use case in and of itself.
Now, I know you talk about 5G capacity, how much 5G coverage you have, but how many 5G customers do you actually have who have 5G-enabled phones and are actually using the network?
Well, it's growing very rapidly. We have a higher number than what we heard Verizon disclose, their 20% earlier this week, but we didn't disclose our number other than to say it's growing very rapidly. And there's a reason for that. You know, we're really after this. For us, we want customers on 5G as quickly as possible because we have the best 5G, and it's contributing to the lowest churn in the industry. You know, the T-Mobile brand has the lowest churn in this entire industry right now. That means people aren't leaving us. They love this network and this value proposition. And sequentially, we also saw the biggest overall churn improvement from Q1 to Q2. And so it's really important that people get this technology and see for themselves what it can do. Because otherwise, they're just going on reputation. And, you know, when it comes to network reputation, if you look back at the 4G era, you know, Verizon had that crown. And for us, now that we're the real leader, our big job is to make sure everybody knows it.
Now, T-Mobile has some of the cheapest plans still, but also some of the more expensive plans. And I wonder, can that keep up, or does something have to give?
Well, what's beautiful about it is at T-Mobile, it's just a choice. I mean, we have unlimited plans starting at, for example, on our prepaid brands at just $25 a month. Incredible value that we just launched. But you're right, we have marquee offers like the industry's best unlimited plan. You know, this industry talks about unlimited all the time, but if you really look at the fine print on so many offers out there, it deprioritizes you after you've used up a bunch of data. Well, this is Magenta Max at a higher price, which is just a choice, is the true unlimited plan, maybe the best unlimited plan in the country when you factor in that it's on the nation's biggest, fastest, and most available 5G network.
Now, there's also this trend with free phone promotions. T-Mobile is definitely dabbling in that. And I wonder, do you think that's at all gone too far?
You know, it's interesting. When people look at this industry, they always see the promotion du jour, and they ask that same question. I've been getting questions during the entire Un-carrier journey since 2013 about whether or not the industry has gotten too competitive. No, you know, it's competitive. It's always been competitive. The nature of that competition just changes over time. And right now, it's phone deals. But you're right. All the carriers are focusing on, you know, higher end plans associated with their best phone deals. And right now it's, you know, boy, we want to give you Samsung Galaxies and iPhones for a great deal. And that's what customers are looking for. And so the nature of competition changes. The extent of it, not really.
Now, you know, when you started this journey as T-Mobile was remaking its reputation, the reputation was that you didn't have coverage in farther flung areas, complete coverage across the United States. How would you say that coverage stacks up now? And in full disclosure, I'm asking you as a T-Mobile customer.
You know, we were a distant fourth, and brands are powerful but stubborn. We're famous for taking care of customers and loving them and having the best deals. But now that we're the best 5G network, we've got a ways to go to convince everybody of that, because it's not how they've always thought of us. You know, because the fact of the matter is, a few years ago, we weren't the best network. And now we have this amazing opportunity. So we're really laser focused on making sure everybody understands, whether it's through word of mouth, through proving it to people, through advertising, through getting our customers those 5G phones, because we cover today, as of today, 305 million people with 5G, and half the population, 165 million people, with ultra capacity 5G, the good stuff, 350 megabits per second on average today. And it's, you know, it's amazing how far ahead we've gotten versus the other big guys, and we're only accelerating the pace.
And talking about the other big guys, you know, they seem to be having some strategic vision issues. Obviously, we saw AT&T getting into content, getting out of content, Verizon's content efforts not really taking off. I mean, do you think the phone industry is moving beyond that and going to compete on the fundamentals, or do you think we're still going to see these experiments, if you will?
Well, we saw early on that the future was about 5G. 5G would unfold first and foremost on mid-band spectrum, and we set out to create the new T-Mobile with the best mid-band spectrum position in the country and to be focused as the nation's leading pure play. And that has turned out to be prescient, because now the big companies, AT&T and Verizon, have decided to completely pivot their strategies to try and emulate what we're doing. The challenge with that is they're a few years behind, and we think we have the wherewithal to stay ahead for the duration of the 5G era. Verizon is shedding their 1990s.com assets, AT&T now backing out of media assets and focusing on their knitting. Together, they spent $85 billion on a big mid-band spectrum auction to try but fail to catch up to us. And so, yeah, it's nice to see that the industry is going to focus on the knitting, because that's what we're best at, and, you know, it plays to our strengths.